All right, again, so when we're subtracting integers, we always look to take away, especially using the counters. So we're going to start with the following. Let's say I have a key, and I'm going to have the unshaded circle to equal 1. That is positive. The shaded circle will equal -1, or 1 that is negative. All right, and remember, we look to take away. So if we have the following problem, let's say we have 9 minus 6. 9 minus 6. Okay, so now we have to represent the first value. So we have to represent the first value here. So we need 9 positive counters. And we need to take away 6 of those positive counters. So we just cross them out, showing that we're subtracting them. And what we have left is the answer. So that's a positive 3. Similarly, if we have the following problem, -8 minus a -4. We have to represent this first value, -8, using the counters. So we need 8 negatives. All right, so we have 8 negatives represented, and we need to take away 4 negatives, or -4. So we just cross those out. And whatever we're left with is our answer. So that's a -4. All right. Now we're going to do a different type of problem here, dealing with negative and positive integers. All right. So let's say we have the following, a -2. And we're taking away, or we're subtracting, +3. I'm going to move this up. We have -2, but we're subtracting +3. So of course I need to represent -2. I'm going to shade that in. But I need to create, or I need to take away 3 positives. But we don't have any positives here. So that means we need to add 0 pairs. We need to add 0 pairs. So we need 3 positives to take away. So that means we need 3 0 pairs. Of course, this is the negative part, and then we add the positive part. So this is the 3 positives. So this is our set of 0 pairs that we added to the -2. And now we have 3 positives that we can take away. So we cross those out. And then what we're left with is our answer. So of course, that's going to equal -5. All right. Let's look at another problem. Let's say we have 4 positives, and we need to take away -5. So we have 4 positives, but we need to take away 5 negatives. So first thing we do, we represent the 4 positives, or +4, with 4 positive counters. But we don't have 5 negatives out of this 4 positives. So we have to create or add 0 pairs. So in order to take away 5 negatives, we need 5 0 pairs. So now we have 5 negatives that we can take away. So we cross those out, representing that we're taking them away from the model. And what we're left with is 9 positives or positive 9. All right. Are there any questions so far? So we have a -6 and we're taking away a +4. Of course, the first thing we need to do is illustrate or represent 6 negatives. So we have to have 6 negative counters. And of course, when it's shaded, that means it represents a negative based on our key. But we don't have 4 positives out of the 6 negatives. So that means we need to represent 4 positives. And we do that by adding 4 zero pairs. All right. So of course now we have 4 positives that we can take away from this model. And then we have the following remaining. So of course we have -10. Okay, we have -10. All right, so this is with models. But if we were just using the algorithm, the standard way we subtract, so we would add the opposite of the second value. All right, so this is when we're subtracting. For example, we're going to take that same problem. -6 minus +4. Oh, let me raise that up. -6 minus a +4. So when we rewrite this, we're adding the opposite of a +4. So that's going to be -6 plus the opposite of a positive is negative, so that's going to be -4. And of course, we have like signs, so we just add and keep the sign. -6 plus -4 equals -10, which is the same thing we got from the model, okay? So remember, when we are subtracting, we're adding the opposite of the second term. We're adding the opposite of the second term. If we look at the following, and the next 2 problems, I'm going to do the model as well as adding the opposite of the second term to show you guys that they are both the same. All right. So we have -6 minus a +8. First thing that we're going to do is the model, then we're going to use the actual algorithm where we subtract or add the opposite of the second term. So here we have 6 negatives that we have to represent, so we need 6 negative counters. All right. But now we need to represent 8 positives because we don't have any positives from the -6. So we need 8 zero pairs. And now we have to put our positives. that goes along with the 0 pair. And now we have 8 positives that we can take away. And now we're left with the following. And whatever we're left with, that equals 14 negatives, or negative 14. Similarly, if we add the opposite of the second term, and I'm just going to rewrite this here, negative 6 minus positive 8. Of course, this equals negative 6 plus, and then the opposite of a positive 8 is going to be a negative 8. And then here we have like signs, so we just add those. Negative 6 plus negative 8 equals negative 14. Okay? All right.